Alright, we are back. We're here with Strifecro. We were saying that you had some opportunity to squeeze in past the group of death.
Yeah, this is something I didn't know about. I kind of wish
would have
I
been
knew
really
about,
fitting.
but yeah.
I mean, the group of death having like a three-way tie, and then Strifecro comes out one loss less out of all the matches or something.
I didn't think I would. I thought that maybe if I won the last one, maybe we'd play like a tiebreaker round or something. Like I didn't realize I would actually just have made it, maybe. But
yeah, it's because they had at least one match that ended in 0-2 as a defeat, and you didn't. Both of your defeats were 2-1s.
Yeah, so if I went...
So you would have dropped fewer games, even though you would win the
so
same.
if I went either 2-0 or 2-1, it would have been okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but, you know, I still lost anyways. It's not like I tried to play worse, so...
Yeah, you talked a lot about the game as I was actually coming in from my little break. What exactly happened? Because we didn't get to see any of this.
I kind of feel bad.
This is against Strifecro and RDU.
You mean Tides and RDU?
Oh,
I'm Strifecro.
Yeah, Strifecro and.
But anyways, yeah, I could have won like every series I played. Like I was so close to going 3-0 in the group. Like I made some small mistakes at the end of every handlock versus handlock game against like Tides and RDU. I guess like basically versus RDU, I kind of had like a couple like 4-4s and 5-5s like Lothab, like some Sledge Belcher or something like that in Inferno. I played my Draxus early and he had like 19 life. I was kind of ahead, right? But I was only at 7 life. I Draxus a little bit earlier. He got me to 7 and I kind of stabilized. And I kind of just like left him at 19 instead of just like hitting him down to like 5.
Okay.
Because I was kind of scared of some Molten Giant stuff, but you know, because I had Siphon Soul at like 2 Siphons at this point, I could have just like all into him, got him to like 5, and if he played like Molten, Shadow Flame or whatever, I could have still siphoned the other Molten, you know, and just like start the Inferno thing again. Yeah. But it turned out that I just left him at 19, or I think I left him at 16, not 19, and he played Molten Giant and Shadow Flame, and then I had to start over from the Infernos again, and then next turn he just played Jiraxis. I mean, I guess I Inferno and taunted him up, but like eventually like he Jiraxis and like he managed to siphon and owl enough of my Infernos to kill me with the weapon plus Hellfire. I mean, not Hellfire, weapon and Soulfire. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I should have just all in gotten to 5, and then because at that
point, to play Jiraxis.
Well, he couldn't have played Jiraxis that whole board. He had to have he needed a Shadow Flame that turn.
Oh, I see.
From the Molten, right? And then you can't play Jiraxis anyways. So
yeah,
I kind of messed that up. Against Tides, I made like a similar. It's like the opposite. I guess I kind of like psychologically talked myself into making the opposite play. You know, because against Tides, like. It was like handlock versus handlock. I got
so everyone's playing handlock, basically?
Yeah, I guess we were playing handlock, but yeah, it was like handlock mirror. I was like 19 life. I mean, I played Draxus, and then I punched Tides down from 19 to 16 this time. I was like, okay, this time I'm just going to punch him. But it was like a different situation, because I didn't have anything on board this time. I just Draxus that turn. And then he ended up playing Molten and Mountain. Like, you know, Molten for 6, Mountain for 4, like Mountain Molten. Yeah. And he just overwhelmed me because he played 2 big threats at once, so I couldn't siphon both of them.
Yeah,
you know?
I see.
So like he just kind of killed me after that. But if I left him at 19, he could have played 2 giants, and I could just start building up Inferno as well, like slowly siphoning. So yeah, it kind of worked out bad for me because I kind of like talked myself into doing the opposite play because I messed up the first one. So.
Well, you didn't get so lucky. You did mention that you know, you could have won any of your games, and actually, if you won any of them, you would have went through.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of curious, you know, people really looked up to this group.
It was a tough group.
And I'm kind of curious if you think like the correct people are going through if it hadn't been you.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that...
You think RDU deserved the 3-0 and Tides deserved the squeak in there?
I mean, I think anyone could deserve to make it out. It was a really close group, like you said. You know, like, if anything different happened, it could have been like a 3-way tie. I guess RDU did go 3-0, so he definitely deserves to make it. But as far as like the other players, you know, anyone could have made it, I guess.
What were the matches against Amaz like? I don't think we heard about that.
I started out as Priest versus Hunter.
Okay.
And I started Priest for Zoo. He played Zoo and Hunter, so he played 2 aggro decks.
Zoo Warlock, I assume.
Yeah, Zoo Warlock Zoo and kind of like a Hunter.
Okay.
And yeah, I kind of messed up the first game in versus Moz where I played Priest versus Zoo. But, I mean, just like some small stuff. Later on, I won Hunter. I lost game 1. I played Hunter against Zoo and I won, and then I lost the Hunter Mirror. So.
Okay. Well, what can you do?
Yeah.
Bit of a bummer. I really thought you'd do very well. I mean, I'm sure you always play pretty well.
I played okay, I guess. I wasn't too happy after the first series or some odds. So I made like a couple of mistakes, and I wasn't feeling too well after. I don't know.
All right. Well, let me try to look at the stats and see how other people are doing. Have you interested yourself in the other groups?
I kind of know how some of the other groups are. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I know Nimsh made it out of his group. I saw some of his games that were like on the wire. He was playing Hunter against Druid, and his Druid opponent had 4 cards in his hand, and he had 2 life as the Hunter, and somehow he survived and won.
Okay.
Like he hero powered to the face for 1 and survived, and then just couldn't finish. So
I'm having trouble loading this page actually, but from the old results, Group E was finalized. In Group E, Nimsh went through, and Blue Hair, one of the Chinese players, went through. Masan took the hit first. He went 0-2 in his first 2 games, and because of the way the groups were matched up and because of the way he lost, I don't think there was any way he could have come back in his group at that point. So I think he was technically the first player eliminated. Actually, it was the last player here first eliminated. How about that?
Oh,
that's a short China trip.
He got here on the very last day.
Yeah, he got here at like 9 or 10 right before the first tournament.
Yeah, we were all talking about how like good the dinner buffet is, and he didn't even have he never even went there until the event started.
Oh man, no dinner, all salt.
Yeah.
We saw most of the Noxious group. I think there's still a few games left to be played.
I think Kit Kats did advance there.
I think Kit Kats did.
Oh, okay. Kit Kats went 2-1, and Gara went.
Gara. Oh, actually, yeah. The last match, Gara beat You Love, so we do know the full results of that.
So I think Kit Kats and Gara both advanced, since they both went 2-1.
Yes, You Love went 1-2, Noxious went 1-2, Kit Kats went 2-1, Gara went 2-1.
Yeah. So they both advanced.
So Kit Kats and Gara, 2 fairly solid players out of that group. I don't think that's too big of a surprise. I was kind of hoping Noxious would do well. I know Noxious is the kind of guy people have described the same way that I think of him. You know, if he can like set his mind to something and like do really well in it, kind of like
he said he was pretty prepared for this tournament.
Jeoparino.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I kind of expected that group to turn out like that.
I saw his last match against Kit Kats, and I was really disappointed with his plays.
he made some really weird mistakes in that match.
Yeah.
Because like when he was playing Zoo, he wasn't like turn forward instead of Dark Iron and attack. He just like tapped and didn't tap into anything, just passed.
It was worse than that. I don't know. People, I guess, didn't catch it because when I told people that it was a really big misplay, people said that I suck at the game and I didn't know what I was talking about. But he sacrificed his Abusive Sergeant for nothing at all.
Oh, that was I actually noticed that. He the way he played it, he loses his Abusive Sergeant but gets to proc the egg. I think he wouldn't have procced his egg, but I don't even think you want to proc the egg.
Because the egg, the Ghoul would have done 1 damage to the egg and 1 damage to the Acolyte. So the egg is a 2-1.
Oh, yeah,
you're
right.
You
could have actually done the whole...
exactly the same, except you get an Abusive Sergeant for free.
I actually even think that you don't even need to proc the egg. I'd rather have the Abusive Sergeant and the egg than just lose the Abusive Sergeant and have the 4/4 anyways. But I think your play is obviously the best, where you get the best of both worlds. So.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty disappointing, but well, he didn't go through, so I guess we won't see from him too much anymore. Out of the other groups, yours was finalized. We just talked about that one. And a lot of the other groups don't really have many other updates.
I think groups A to D, basically groups A to D, they played basically 1 match yesterday on the stage, and
Group D started up again. We saw Reynad versus Hunter Ming, which was
so they're just now
spectacular.
starting.
If you saw that,
I saw Reynad played actually really well.
He did. We mentioned that.
Yeah.
He
I watched the very last game when he was playing hand lock against Mage. He made like the one risky move on turn 4 where he put the giant into the trap that he didn't know. If it was duplicate or not the mirror image, he would have lost instantly, right?
The thing is, we didn't know if the deck had 2 mirror entities because yesterday we only saw one against the games with Kungan. So, I mean, 2 is pretty extreme, don't you think? I think 1 is okay just to mix it up, but 2 is unusual, I would say.
Yeah,
and I think his move was risky, but yeah, it did pay off for him.
I think we've seen like a lot of basically like the mages that utilize a lot of creature-based mages. A lot of those are using like two mirror entities because they're kind of just like they don't really want to use block and barrier that much because they're like more of the aggressor decks, so they don't want to just go defensive with those secrets. And
counterspell mirror entities.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the ones the fighting secrets, you know. So they put those in. Yeah. But yeah, Raiden played the rest of that game really well, and I'm not even sure if I totally disagree with this turn 4 giant because he felt like he just had to take the risk, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he like checked for like all the secrets in a really nice order. Like there were
a
lot of turns where
coil play
exactly
for the counterspell.
Even like the power overwhelming.
I mean, we could see that was the best play, knowing the secrets, and I think in his spot, it's just a very tough move.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, he played quite. I think that was actually the best game we've casted so far.
Who'd you cast that with?
I think it was with Ecop.
Oh, cool.
And he kept saying how he would have made all the same plays.
I could just imagine that.
Ecop would have made all the same correct plays, so he would have won that game too. It's not a big deal. I guess when you're a pro player, you just know everything.
Especially if you see the other guys' cards.
Yeah. But we were mostly thinking about the end of the game, where the mage had like 6 cards left, and we knew that two frostbolts came out, and there was a fireball that was still in there, and we knew that his hand was worthless because it was double
Ancient Watcher.
Ancient Watcher.
Oh man.
Yeah. So at that point, there were a lot of really close decisions, and I would have made the wrong play, but I didn't really know all of Reynad's deck. I would have not tapped, and I would have just played super safe. I would have basically played the game as if he would draw Fireball, and I'd still get another turn.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect that Reynad would have Leroy in the deck, and that really changes up the odds.
Yeah, I talked to Reynad after that because Reynad should have known that last card was Ancient Watcher because it got duplicated, right?
Yeah,
he did know. So Hunter Ming had 0 cards left in his hand other than that Watcher, and even a Fireball wouldn't have killed him.
It would have.
Wait, wasn't he at 8 life?
Yeah, but he had the
Undertaker.
Yeah, he had the
Undertaker. No, he can kill the Undertaker with his creature.
Yeah, but he doesn't push for lethal the turn after that.
No, he actually would have because he had Alex Straza and a Black Knight. So I think with his Hellfire, I think he would have killed. But Reynad said he
I don't think that was true, but it may not look as the game correctly.
But after talking to him, it seems fine what he did because he wasn't ready to play around Fireball because Fireball would have just not killed him anyway. But he was playing around playing Strike.
I really glad he could have done
no one really knows if he probably did have another one, but
we didn't even
I mean, if he did get Flame Strike, he lose both his minions. Then the mage just has so many turns to draw all the
time. Like, would someone
I would
ever play 2 Flame Strikes and not Blizzard?
I don't think so.
I feel like you can play one, and you can play one, and if you want more, you can play Blizzard. And just more.
Also, it's like I feel like Flame Strike belongs more in those control mage decks, whereas Hunter's mage deck is really minion based.
Weird feedback here.
Out that Reynad had a lot of damage in his deck. So.
Yeah, there's a sound issue right now. I think I have to take a break to sort this out because this is definitely not normal. So we'll be back in a few minutes. That's all.